Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Novi Febrianty. Here, I would like to present my research proposal about student perception of using Wattpad to improve reading and writing skill. Alright, let's begin with the background in this research. Reading and writing are the basic skills that must be possessed by a student. There are many benefits derived from reading and writing activities, one of which is adding insight through extensive reading activities and sharing ideas, thoughts, views, memories, or opinions through writing for pleasure activities. According to Zasser, 1990, refers that extensive reading is a language teaching or learning procedure that involves reading large quantities of material or long text for global or general understanding to obtain pleasure from the text. Because reading is individualist, with students choosing the book they want to read, the book are not discussed in class. Meanwhile, Young 2019 stated that writing for pleasure is volitional act of writing undertaken for enjoyment and satisfaction. Reading and writing are very important skills and have many benefits, but as we know, interest in reading in Indonesia is still very low and even occupies the second position from the bottom, mastery of reading and writing skill. The limitation of book and reading source is one of the main factors for the low interest in reading in the community, affecting reading and writing skill. The increasingly rapid development of technology makes reading and writing activities can be done through book or other media such as cell phone and laptops. One application that can be used as a source of reading, writing, and entertaining media simultaneously is Wattpad. Wattpad is not only a reading platform but an application that allows students to read and write stories and facilitates students to connect directly with other readers and their favorite writer. Wattpad can encourage an appetite for reading and writing, especially extensive reading and writing for pleasure. The facilities and ease of accessing the application make Wattpad one of the online reading and writing applications that are very popular with all people, especially teenagers. The number of teenagers who like Wattpad, especially junior high school students to college students, make teacher and lecturer try to use Wattpad as a medium for learning and read and write, which is expected to be able to improve student reading and writing skill. Wattpad has proven to be quite effective in increasing student motivation and interest in reading and writing, as explained by Ball 2018 in previous research, that Wattpad offers different options. Wattpad has paved the way for a new trend in reading and writing habits. Student reading habits saw a change. In previously, reading activities were only carried out at school. Students did not have the habit of reading outside of school because they were lazy, which affected student reading skill. In this digital era, and presence of Wattpad has changed student reading and writing habit to become multimodal. In line with that, Putri 2019 stated that the use of Wattpad can motivate students to read and write stories. In the same vein, Rahman 2019 put a different analysis through this application, where they believe that Wattpad might be a new platform to implement a new technology-blended learning program where teachers are expected to be versatile in this era. With this initiative, Adining Tias 2020 also supported the idea of teaching using Wattpad, where she revealed a significant difference in using Wattpad is to support the learning process that boosts the teaching environment to be more interactive, which results in a better score for post-test. Next, about GAP. In contrast to previous study that explored the effect on benefit of using Wattpad as a learning medium in improving student reading skill, researchers focus more on investigating the problem of using Wattpad in improving reading and writing skill based on student perception faced by students majoring in English education 5th semester at Siliwangi University. Alright, and the last is this research focus on student perception and Wattpad in improving reading and writing skill. Let's move to the research question or formulation of the problem, namely, how do students of English education department at Siliwangi University perceive the use of Wattpad to improve their reading and writing skill? Alright, the next is about operational definition. The first is about student perception. Student perception are student perceive and assessment of the use of Wattpad in improving their reading and writing skill or phenomena obtained from their experience. The second is Wattpad. Wattpad is an online reading and writing platform favored by various circles and provide multiple features that can motivate students to improve their reading and writing skill. The third is reading skill. Reading skills are the most important basic ability in the field of education. This ability includes student skill in reading and understanding the meaning of the reading. And the last is about writing skill. Writing skill are the ability to write an idea, opinion, view, and story in a medium. Writing here is done for fun. The next is the aim and significance of this research. So the purpose of this study was to determine the perception of fifth semester students of English education regarding the benefit of Wattpad in improving their reading and writing skill. And the significance is researchers suggest that the result of this research can be an innovation for English teacher or lecturer in choosing more varied learning media and student interests so that they can motivate students to improve their reading and writing skill. Alright, the next slide is about theoretical framework. Febrianty 2021 stated that perception is the way people notice a thing, especially with the sense. This can be based on people's point of view and way of thinking because someone can clarify the perception based on what they know. In another word, people's perception of something is their point of view or interpretation of evaluating something. Irwanto 2002 stated that the results of perception is divided into two, positive and negative. According to Sobur, as cited in Nursanti 2016, the factor that can be influence people's perception come from the inside and outside factor, known as internal and external factor. According to Keong 2017, perception process consists of three stages: selection, organization, and interpretation. Alright, so what is Wattpad? Wattpad is one of the world's biggest literacy platform providing service the writer to share their work and the reader to enjoy them. Al-Falak et al. There are many genres and also work based on their categories in Wattpad, like action, general fiction, paranormal, mystery or thriller, spiritual, horror, werewolf, fantasy, humor, young chick lit, romance, classic, vampire, science fiction, adventure, teenage fiction, fan fiction, historical fiction, and non-fiction. Wattpad provides the feature to create a story as well as give feedback. Wattpad was founded by Alan Lau and Ivan Yuan in Canada 2006. Bal 2018 stated, offering diverse options, Wattpad has paved the way for new trend in reading and writing habit. One factor, the low motivation to read and write to students in Indonesia is the lack of reading source and interest in writing, which is limited to school assignment and lecture. However, the presence of Wattpad has a good and significant impact in Indonesian student reading and writing interests, with various facilities offered by Wattpad as well as novel available with various genres according to student interests, making Indonesian student reading and writing motivate, increase, and effect in their reading and writing skill. The next is reading skill. Reading is an essential life skill, a capital for someone to success in school and life. Without the ability to read well, opportunities for personal fulfillment and job success will inevitably be less. For that, a person needs to have reading skill in his life. Perfetti 2017 stated that reading is interactive in that different processes are responsible for providing data and sharing the data with other processes. Much more that decoding and literal comprehension, reading involve understanding, reflection, and the ability to use reading to fulfill one's goals. According to Paris 2005, reading skills same as other psychological constructs. Reading skills are divine and operational to establish consistent measure and interpretation of the construct. The validity of the construct is evaluated by reference to its definition and measure. However, as we know, the development of reading skill is not easy, especially if students do not have the motivation and interest in reading. Paris 2005 revealed that there are four trajectories in developing reading skill, including the first constraint is unequal learning because some later concepts and phenomena are learned more quickly and thoroughly than others. The second development constraint is mastery. The third is universality, and the last is on reading skill is codependency. To overcome the obstacle in developing student reading skill, teacher or lecturer can currently use media or online reading platform that facilitate fun reading activities with various genres of story that are available and can be adapted to student interests. The last is writing skill. According to Febrianty 2016, it is believed that writing is essential and frequently used in people's daily life, either as individuals such as writing an application letter, message, and disseminating results, or member of society such as a workplace users. Writing skill is the ability to write something productively is an indicator of success during the learning process, or we can call that writing skill specific abilities that help readers put their thought into words in a meaningful form and mentally interact with the message. Ye 2009 argued that the definition of writing ability can form depending on the teacher or experience, as that here teacher's philosophy on the nature of writing. Since the communicative approach was adapted for language teaching and learning, the context of language use is treated as an important factor in defining, teaching, and measuring language ability. Student writing skill are student ability to write an idea, opinion, feeling, or view in a writing format. Alright, let's move to the next slide. It's about research method and population sample. The method of this study will use quantitative research that use a survey design. The researcher will conduct a survey of 5th semester students of English education at Siliwangi University. The next is about population and sample. The population of this research is the student of English education at Siliwangi University. 4 classes were selected consisting one batch, namely 5th semester student, each class consisting of 32 and 36 students. In total, there are around 141 5th semester English education students who will be sampled, and this figure in total number of 5th semester students of Siliwangi University. The sample from this research was taken using a purposive sampling technique. Crosswell 2002 explained that purposive sampling involves identifying and selecting individual or group of participants mainly experienced with the current phenomenon. The reason for using purposive sampling was because the researchers had a purpose to select anyone from the population who use Wattpad in reading and writing without considering their age, background, knowledge, or gender. The next is about research procedure. This research will be conducted in 2022 at English Education Department Faculty of Teacher Training at Siliwangi University. There are 6 themes of research procedure. The first is selecting the problem, choosing a sample, choosing proper instrument, determining design and procedure, collecting data and analysis, and the last is interpreting result. Alright, the next is about data. Data collection. The researcher collected data by distributing questionnaire consisting of 15 questions adapted from previous research conducted by Rodiatun 2020 about student perception of Wattpad in reading in English Department University Bandar Lampung to 5th semester English education student at Siliwangi University through social media such as WhatsApp and Instagram. And then the data analysis. In data analysis, researchers will use the descriptive statistical form to describe student perception about the use of Wattpad in improving student reading and writing skill. Alright, that's all my presentation about my research proposal. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.